Hello friends, I am Sunil Ranjan Mukul and I am an English teacher. Well, now I have come with the topic Classicism and Romanticism. Now here I begin. There are two distinctive tendencies in the history of English literature, classic and romantic. In the history of literature, one tendency dominates for some time and then it is followed by the predominance of the other tendency. And in this manner, they appear alternately, one following the other. In the history of English literature, the Elizabethan period may be called the first romantic period, dominated by Marlowe, Shakespeare, Spenser and others. It was followed by the classical period in the 18th century, whose important literary figures were Dryden, Pope, Addison, Swift and Dr. Johnson. The later part of the 18th century and the early part of the 19th century is called the Romantic period. Its prominent poets were Wordsworth, Coleridge, Scott, Byron, Shelley and Keats. It was dominated by the romantic tendency. During the Victorian period in English, the romantic tendency continued to dominate literature, but the 20th century literature shows signs of the classical tendency. Now, coming to the distinctive symptoms of classicism. Number one, the first symptom of classicism is belief in reason. Number two, emphasis on the civilized, modern and sophisticated modes of life. Number three, interest in urban society. Number four, preoccupation with human nature. Number 5, love for mundane actuality. Number 6, satirical tendency. Number 7, expression of accepted moral truth. Number 8, realistic recognition of things as they are. Number 9, belief in good and evil. Number 10, acceptance of established religious and philosophic creeds. Number 11, attachment to normal generic abstraction. Number 12, impersonal objectivity. Number 13, interest in public themes. Number 14, emphasis on formal correctness and the ideal of order. Number 15, popularity of poetry of prose statement. Number 16, use of formal poetic diction. Number 17, self-conscious traditionalism. And number 18, rational sobriety of Latin literature. On the other hand, the distinctive symptoms of Romanticism are: number 1, belief in feelings, imagination and intuition. Number 2, emphasis on the primitive, medieval and natural modes of life. Number 3, interest in rural solitude. Number 4, preoccupation with the aesthetic and spiritual values of external nature. Number 5, love for visions of the mysterious, the ideal and the infinite. Number 6, tendency of myth-making, discovery of the beauty that is truth. Number 7, faith in progress. Number 8, belief in man and goodness and individual speculation and revelation. Number 9, attachment to concrete particulars. Number 10, subjectivism. Number 11. Interest in private themes, emphasis on individual expressiveness, and the ideal of intensity, popularity of image and symbol. Number 12. Use of common language. Number 13. Self-conscious originality. And number 14. Romantic Hellenism. The terms romantic and classical are not so strictly opposed to each other. In fact, one grows out of the other, and often they overlap each other. The interesting fact is that both the tendencies are present in great works of literature, though in varying proportions. Pater observed that the words classical and romantic define two real tendencies in the history of art and literature. The charm of what is classical is in the absolute beauty of its artistic form. It is the tranquil charm of familiarity. It is character in art and the desire of beauty being a fixed element in every artistic form of literature. It is the addition of curiosity to the desire of beauty that constitutes the romantic temper. The essential elements then of the romantic spirit are curiosity and the love of beauty, and it is only as an illustration of these qualities that it seeks the Middle Ages, because in the overcharged atmosphere of Middle Ages there are sources of romantic effect to be won by strong imagination. Classical and romantic tendencies, when taken to the extreme, do much damage to genuine literature. The classical degenerates into rigid formalism and slavish obedience to rules, which suppress and undermine all initiative and originality of the writer, as happened with the 18th century in England. The romantic turns itself into license, extravagance and lack of restraint, which leads to chaos, as if happened in the later phases of Elizabethan Romanticism. The best literature combines in equal proportion both the classical and romantic elements. Then we find a strength exercised with restrained, disciplined imagination, perfect harmony, originality in conformity with the highest standard of literary excellence. In the works of great writers like Chaucer, Milton, Shakespeare, we find a beautiful and harmonious blend of both the tendencies. So friends, here I come to the end of the topic, that is Classicism and Romanticism. So I hope you understood the topic, and if you listen to my video again and again, you will understand well what Classicism and Romanticism mean in the field of English literature. If you have subscribed to my channel, it's fine. If you haven't, do subscribe to my channel so that I am able to come up with finer videos in the time to come, and I also feel encouraged that my students are supporting me for what I am doing. Thank you.